please consider going over to my Patreon page and help me to support and grow this channel. So last time we finished off by painting the gray areas on the roof, the rear bumper, and on the front bumper. And this time I'm going to apply some carbon fiber to just the roof. I don't want to do the front and rear bumper on this one as it's really not going according to plan, but you'll see a bit more about that later on in the video and I will explain some more on it. The build will be fine, it will be finished, no problem there, but it will need some fixing and it won't be a masterpiece. So I might even consider doing another build later on that is not in white, but first I'm just going to finish this one off. After I finished massaging the roof decal into place in the proper form, I moved on to doing some various decals all around, starting at the rear with some lights and then doing some logos as well. The decals are now in place, so I could move on to applying some clear. Now lately I had mentioned that the clear coat wasn't really working with me and I was not really getting the results I wanted it to, so I contacted Steve from Zero Paints and asked him if he could make a higher quality 2K clear coat, and this is what he replied with. He immediately got to work to satisfy his customers and sent me out some diamond clear coat. This is one step up from the 2K clear. It's just as hard, works the same way, but it's supposed to be a lot shinier and a lot easier to have it shine really well. So you just mix it according to the specifications on the package, stir it up really well, and go ahead and spray your model. With the clear now nice and mixed up, just pour some in your airbrush and go to work. Now since I did place a couple of decals on the body, I made sure to remove any of the dust that might have fallen onto the body in the meantime, and then moved on to applying a light tack coat on the body and decals first, just to seal those in a bit, and then added a thicker second and final coat later on. So as you can see, just a light coat on top of this big decal on the roof, and then later on in this first coat I will go over it a bit more with a heavier coat just to cover it up a bit more and seal it in nice and tight. After applying this first coat, I got used to the clear a bit more and figured out that this second coat should be the final coat, as I didn't really want to lay it on too thick, and it just was shiny enough after this coat and good enough on this model for now. On the next one I will go a bit heavier, maybe see if I can push it a bit more, but for now this was good enough. After applying this second coat of clear, I was perfectly satisfied with the way that it came out, and it was really nice and smooth. I set it aside for a couple of days to dry off, and then came back to it, already knowing that the white is turning yellow. This is because of the plastic. Now, a yellow plastic is a really powerful color. It can mess up lighter colors just like it did here. It shows through in a couple of spots, some worse than others. The hood is pretty much cream instead of white, and the only way to fix this is to just sand it up a bit, apply a couple of more coats of white, some pearl, and clear it again, and you will probably get rid of it. Now, I'm not going to do this for the entire body, I'm going to live with that, but I will address this hood. Now, just to mention, this is not the paint's fault. This would have happened with Gravity Colors or with Tamiya or Gunza or Testers or whatever. It happens. It also happened to me on a red body before, on the 612 Ferrari I did, one of my first videos. That hood turned red and the car was white. So just gotta live with it. Gonna try and fix it, do a video on that as well, and move on and build another one of these at a later stage.